You may have heard of the phrase to stay true to yourself, and you may feel like, okay, that's a nice idea, but why? Today, I'd like to give you a few reasons as to why it is important to stay true to yourself. First off, there's a lot less pressure when you just say your piece and you just say the truth. And that doesn't necessarily mean you have to be really blunt, and that doesn't necessarily mean you have to be like, if someone's clearly having a terrible day and your words will push them over the edge, maybe you should consider how to rephrase them so you still get your point across, or how to take it into a different context so it's not as shattering. But what I've learned, what I've been reminded of these last few months, is that people are going to interpret your words. What I mean when they're going to interpret their words, I mean that you can craft the perfect message. You can say something, think it through for months. And it's not a guarantee whoever's listening is going to hear it the way you want them to. You can't control your audience, and you shouldn't try to control your audience. And so, my disclaimer for this video and in general, sometimes we have to think about how we can stay true to ourselves while still not pushing situations too far. And sometimes we have to accept that, just like you watching this video, I can give you whatever advice I'd like to give you, and you walk away with whatever it is you walk away with. You can think whatever you like because it's your life. And so this isn't really a tangent, this is just more of I just want you to consider that everyone is going to interpret things, and people are going to have their own reactions, and maybe the reactions line up with what you want them to. But if they don't, then it is important to stay true to yourself. Because then when you get questioned as to why, or then when you get questioned about this, or something comes up, you can just be like, but it's true, or this is what it is. And that doesn't mean that, like, let's say your friend offers you a piece of candy and you're like, ugh, it's disgusting. You don't have to be like that. That's not staying true to yourself. Staying true to yourself is a bigger concept. It's the ability to know that you are staying true to your morals and your principles, and that at the end of the day, you know you did the right thing for yourself. So, let's get back to our reasons, shall we? If you stay true to yourself and you just speak your mind and you say your piece, you feel lighter. I have experienced times where I don't say anything, and I have experienced times where I'm actually honest. And as hard as it is to be honest with people and to just be outright and to be more blunt than normal, it's so much more freeing. Another thing is that you get to put your energy to good purpose and good use. And you get to put your time to good use when you've said what you've needed to say. Because when you've said what you've needed to say in certain situations, there's always going to be exceptions in which it's complicated. There's always going to be gray areas. But if you can actually speak your mind and just be upfront and genuine and authentic with people and stay true to you as a person, you don't have to have your energy go down the path of,
Ooh, I really wish I could just say this, but I can't say anything. And so I'm just going to settle for thinking about it for 5 years, and then eventually maybe I'll say something.
I have been that person who doesn't say anything for months or years, weeks, days, whatever. It's so unnecessary how much energy is wasted when things just aren't addressed. When little things turn into big things, and they didn't need to turn into big things because really something could have just been said in the beginning of an issue, in the beginning of a problem that was starting. Something could be said, minds could be spoken like properly instead of trying to like maybe please other people or something else. And I find that now that I have lived long enough to get a variety of what life has to offer in regards to, I don't have the full experience and I won't for a long time, but been around long enough to get an idea of how draining it is when you don't just say something. Because you still say it, you just don't address it. You still think it still lingers on your mind, but you don't get it off of your chest, get it out of your head. It just stays there. Another thing is that people will respect you so much more, even if they don't say it. People don't say a lot of things. But I know, and I have witnessed respect grown because someone has actually just said something. I myself have been in situations where people had to be painfully honest. And even though it was painful, it was less painful because they told me. They didn't try to just ignore their feelings or try to just not deal with it. They addressed it. They stayed true to who they were. They were honest. And for that, I couldn't really be that upset. And because they were honest from the beginning, when people are honest and they just are true to themselves and they're authentic, it's so easy to not get caught up in negative cycles of anything. Doesn't mean it doesn't happen, but it means that there's less cause for it. There's less reason to get trapped in issues and anxieties. And I'm not saying it'll all go away just because you speak your mind, because it's scary to speak your mind. But what I am saying is that even if speaking your mind means giving only a fraction of what you actually think, or if speaking your mind means you need to take your time, or you need to rephrase it, or you need to process what exactly it is you want to speak, it's better than saying nothing at all. If the concept of staying true to yourself and what that really means intrigues you at all, check out my channel. If you like this video, of course, feel free to give a thumbs up, leave a comment, anything like that. But I am happy to talk more about this particular subject. And I'm happy to just share what I've learned with the internet. Have a nice day, night, whatever's next for you. And as always, stay awesome.